Fire signs, there was something in your life that came to a crashing halt. Things kind of collapsed around you at some point, and you may have felt like you had to get out of Dodge or move on into a situation where you weren't really sure where you were going. You knew that just things had changed and there was no stability for you in some circumstance, and you had to move quite quickly. As a consequence, you felt quite out of place, out of sorts, and you certainly were not feeling very abundant. Now that seems to be all about to change. The wedge card came out, which signifies a problem or a block. The words on the card literally say someone is trying to come between you and a friend, or between you and something you want. But look what came out on either side of that wedge. Two birds. News is on the way. Also the eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles is what it literally said. So that's two birds. You are flying high and overcoming whatever this block was in your life that may have had you feeling like everything was kind of collapsing around you. Now it seems to be that you will get, well, it says news is on the way. It seems to be a bit of action regarding messages, so that is a sort of double confirmation there. But we've also got Venus, which means something good coming in towards you from the 9th house of overseas communication or overseas travel. But astrologically, these two houses are opposite each other. And I can't help but notice we've got Mars in one and Venus in the other, so masculine and feminine. It feels very much like there is some kind of attraction coming towards you. Well, that says flirtation. This one is decision. So let's find out more about what the energies are for the week ahead. Well, this is really interesting. The Queen of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be female. It is upside down. It's someone who can't receive passion or excitement. I'm re-recording this because I made such a hash of it, but basically you may have been feeling a bit abandoned, neglected. There was no love or apology being offered to you, and really the Chariot card says you have had to get out of Dodge and leave a situation behind, and you may have been quite unhappy about it. Look at this, there is nostalgia here. Somebody really wants to rewind the clock. They are seeing things from a new point of view now. And this might be you as well, seeing things from a whole new point of view. So they will explain to you what they've been feeling or doing. And you might have had different motivations that you've ascribed to that person. So you might see things differently now. And this might prompt you to drop your guard. Interestingly, when I pulled two more cards from this horoscope deck to go with the original ones, remember we had House 3 and House 9. Two more cards came out for House 9. So that is foreign people. This is philosophies on life. There is Moon there, the keyword optimism. That's the emotion is really tied to long distance travel or people who are far away. We've got Mercury there again, communication, 9th house. So more indication that this might be a message from someone overseas, or you might be planning a trip. There is something here about you maybe having been blind to something in the past, so this is a surprise. This clairvoyance card indicates to me that you don't know the full picture in your reality. You may have had some kind of suspicion deep in your bones, but really this has not been evidenced in real life at all in the 3D. It feels like she's in the dark. Both of these cards indicate sort of in the darkness here. So kind of groping your way through a situation. So yeah, this might be completely out of the blue because you are being asked to believe in the impossible right now. So even when there's no evidence in the 3D that something great is about to happen, things can change in a flash. There is some yearning indicated by this card here, longing for home, longing to belong, feeling like you don't really belong anywhere. That seems to be what is about to change. So let's grab a few more cards here and see what lies ahead. Okay, well these three cards really sum up the whole reading. So you've been in the dark about something, about someone's emotional feelings for you. There has been some kind of distance, or there is some long distance involved in this, or you are about to take flight and move into a more emotionally rich area because the blindfold is dropping off. I can't believe how much the visual metaphors have been in play, with the 9th house being long distance travel. And we've had the Hanged Man out before about, really seeing things from a new perspective. So there is something that is going to really take you by surprise, that is going to bring a lot of emotional joy after a time of pain. The oyster makes the pearl out of pain, and even though it's valuable at the end, I'm sure it was not a great process to go through, and I'm sure you can identify with that. This does seem to be relating to somebody with whom you have a deep bond. There is this card here of energy cords, just showing the depth of connection. It's a soulmate friend or a soulmate partner. There is some kind of divine blueprint at play here. So remember, if you have gone through hard times to get to where you are now, with that collapse that was showing up to start with, remember that you have received precious gifts as a result of that hardship as well. Now it looks like they are scheming, plotting, they're deciding how to come towards you. It is all part of the divine blueprint, and there are energy cords at work here. So this is something that feels fated. So let's look at energies for you to lean into and energies for you to avoid. You're being asked to listen to what comes through this week. So the energy to lean away from is the Hierophant in reverse. So this is anything that is kind of obstinate and thinking you know best, personal, like really staying committed to your own personal beliefs and not sort of being willing to open up and listen to somebody else's point of view here. So lean away from just sort of, the card says unconventionality, but it's sort of like a knee-jerk, go away, not interested, is the kind of vibe I'm getting here, because you are being asked to lean towards judgment. This is the wake-up call. This is actually taking on board what somebody says and allowing it to change you. So don't get too stuck in your ways with the Hierophant there in reverse and the negative there. Don't stick to your own dogma. What you want to do is heed the call of when the angel's trumpet sounds. It is the wake up and smell of coffee moment. Be prepared to accept somebody else's point of view about a situation. Be prepared to change your point of view and do a complete 180 maybe. So remember to believe the impossible, because you might have had a completely different narrative in your mind about what this collapse was, what it meant about you, how it turned you upside down, and maybe there is a completely different story on the other side of this. So I hope that helps, my darlings. If you'd like your own personal reading, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. Meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy.